Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Hey, I'm live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and I think Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So hope you guys are doing well. Happy Friday to everybody. I do a daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today is Friday, right? Did I say happy Friday? So happy Friday to everybody. Um, this is a takeoff of the show I do on Tuesday, which is called On Air with Russell of Hotel. So I've been doing this daily check-in for about a couple years now, right? So it's kind of abbreviated. So the longer show On Air comes on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and it typically goes for about an hour, okay, close to an hour. This one, we try to condense it to about 15, 20 minutes at the most. But sometimes, depending on what's going on, I can be kind of long-winded. Okay, that I'm just giving you that's a disclaimer, right? So just in case I go over, I told you first, right? So anyway, I've been experimenting with a new platform. It's called Restream, and now I think I may be getting close to where I want to be, because I was using Ecamm Live and I've used other platforms like StreamYard, but they just didn't do everything I needed them to do. I guess none of these platforms, any of the platforms, will do 100% of what you want, the way you want, with the quality and everything. But you need to get close, right? I definitely need to get closer to where I was. And with you being able to go on and make comments on LinkedIn and YouTube, I think those are important things, and Facebook as well. So those are important things. So in real time, right? Because I think the other platform, you're able to do it on YouTube in real time, but not on LinkedIn. So here we are. Okay, so there you go. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's don't get caught up in the past, right? So feel free to make comments. It's always, the chat is always open on this show, right? It's all about engagement, and that's what we like here. We want people to engage and interact and all that kind of stuff. You have questions, feel free to make your comments known, and I'll put them on the screen here. I think they'll just pop up on the screen if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, someone give it a try and see, and just make sure you see me and all that kind of stuff. And I'm a little parched, so I'm gonna drink a little water. Yeah, I'm kind of into this Topo Chico lately. I don't know why, but kind of bought some maybe, I don't know, a couple months ago. But then now all of a sudden I'm drinking. Now I'm getting them by the case. I was getting like maybe a 6-pack here and there. Now I'm getting them by the case. Okay, so I'm kind of digging this Topo Chico kind of thing. But anyway, make comments if you want to. I would appreciate it. The comment sections are open. Just say, hey, what's going on? And every time I do one of these shows, On Air with Russell of Hotels, or the daily check-in, I will never do a show where I'm not showcasing a hotel or a destination, because I'm Russell of Hotels, right? So why wouldn't I do that? Hello, come on, are you guys listening to me? So yeah, so never. And today's no exception, right? So I'm doing this today, right? So boom, there you go. You can see me down. Can you still see me? Hey, down here. But yeah, so I was just in Knoxville, Tennessee, a couple of days ago, right? So I always want to showcase the hotels that I've been to, right? So, and kind of explain some of the videos. I mean, some of the pictures that I'm showing you. So Marriott Knoxville downtown is where we stayed, and we're there for North Star's small and boutique meetings. Okay, that's the event that we were attending the other day, which was a great show, great one-on-one appointments. And you'll never know. I won't, at least me. Okay, I haven't been to every destination. Okay, Knoxville was one of the ones that I have never been to, but I wanted to go because I've been to Nashville as well as Memphis, but I wanted to go and check out Knoxville as well to see if it's a viable option for potential groups or whatever. So I did, and I was pleasantly surprised, right? Pleasantly surprised that Knoxville, showed just as well as the other destinations. Maybe not as big as a Nashville or Memphis, but has its own flavor, has its own vibe, has a downtown area. Just has some things going on that would be great. They have a convention center right across from the Marriott, which is great. So within walking distance. So this is all downtown. So I liked it. I liked it. So what I'm gonna do is, you pass it along to your clients, your potential clients that may have a need for a smaller destination, and don't sleep on these smaller destinations. These the second, third, fourth, maybe even fifth tier cities we get away from because they're not as popular or whatever. But well, I guess what's the reason for you meeting in the first place? Okay, is it all about a popularity contest? You got to pick the popular destination, or are you trying to get things accomplished? Do you want less outside interference, right? Now, there's things you can do in Knoxville, just like you can do any other destination, but you just have to go check it out first. So never sleep on some of these other destinations, that, like I said, the third, fourth, and fifth tier city destinations, because they may be just what you need. Price point may be there. The lift in there may be okay. Maybe you only have to do connect one time, because I, even from Los Angeles, I had to connect. I connected in where? On the way up, I connected in Denver. Okay. On the way back, I connected in Houston. So, but it was an easy day. It was an easy flight day. It wasn't like I was like, okay, three connections and I'm there. No, it wasn't like that at all. So, like I said, I have clients that look for that kind of, that needle in a haystack kind of thing, like a hidden gem, if you will. And I would definitely say Knoxville is one of those hidden gems. I mean, just like several months ago, I went to Toledo. Never been to Toledo, Ohio, and guess what? I was pleasantly surprised with that one as well. So there you go. And then the hotel options are just like in any other. They just don't have as many hotels. Maybe it's not as many guest rooms or sleeping rooms or whatever, but right across from a convention center. What? Okay. I mean, you don't get that in some of these larger destinations. Okay. So it's really convenient, really small. From the airport, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And we're there at the hotel. So stayed at the Marriott Knoxville downtown. So there you go. And I'm gonna show you, like I said, I was about to show you that, but I kind of got distracted. So yeah, so these are amenities, and I had to check to make sure these were amenities for us, right? That I didn't have to pay, right? Okay. So I had to call and say, hey, there's some amenities, there's some chocolate, although I don't eat the chocolate, but the candle and the water, okay, I'm good. I brought the candle home and I drank the water. Okay. And there was a nice letter from the general manager. So that was a good thing too. So this is actually the room that I slept in. This is my room at the Marriott Knoxville downtown. It was a nice room. It's very comfortable. And this is another view of that room. See, the first thing I do before I go in the room is take photos. That's what I do all the time. I take photos, videos, or whatever. And you see, this is the what do you call this? This is a lobby at the Marriott. So the two previous videos that I showed you, and I'm not sure if you can hear me on those when I showed it. So this is the Tennessean, okay? So and this boardroom is in the Tennessean as well. So the Tennessean is a luxury hotel, five diamond hotel located inside the same building as the Marriott, which I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, right? 82 rooms. The Marriott has 302 rooms, okay? So, but the Tennessean is, like I said, it's independent. It's not part of the Marriott brand or anything like that. It's separate thing, because I take it that the owner owns both properties, right? Although it's like a dual branded property. You guys know the dual branded properties that you've seen. And it's similar to that, right? So you go in one way to get to the Tennessean, you go in another way to get to the Marriott. It has its own elevator bank and all that stuff, has its own rooms, own tower. Actually has a bar over there as well, has the boardroom over there, and maybe a couple different boardrooms. But I thought it was kind of dope. I was like, this is nice. So just think about it like this. So you have your VIPs, you have a big group, and the majority of the group staying at the Marriott, but your VIPs or maybe your guest speakers, somebody you want to, kind of show off a little bit, or they want that elevated experience, they could stay at the Tennessean. I was like, okay. But I was wondering, do they still get the points? Would I still get the points if I plan this and I had some people at the Tennessean and had some people at the Marriott? Would I get my Marriott points? I don't know. I didn't ask that. But it's something I just came up with. something I just thought about. So, and this is an observation deck that was built in 1982 for the World's Fair, which took place, the 1982 World's Fair that took place in Knoxville, Tennessee. Didn't even know that, right? So I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. All right. And then little water area, water features, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a park area, and it's a lot of walking that you can do, and it's a very walkable destination, which is cool, right? Everybody wants a walkable destination, so there you go. So I thought it was kind of cool. I definitely will bring it up to some of my clients when we start talking about destinations for their next programs, because this is something that they need to check out. They need to put on their list, if you will, because they're always looking at for out of the way destinations. So we don't choose like a LA and San Diego. Sometimes the price, will knock you out of looking, right. So, and then it's like I said, it's too busy. I guess it depends on the nature of the group that you have, right? Is it one that needs to be focused, or is it one that it's okay if there's some distractions? Okay, we'll account for the distractions, like going to Vegas, right? So anyone that plans a serious meeting in Vegas, there's a lot of distractions, right? You got gambling, you got all this stuff, which is fine if that's what you're into, right? But if you're trying to get your message across, and you're trying to you know um, rally the troops, so to speak, and you need them to be serious and listen and undivided attention and all that stuff. Sometimes these bigger destinations are not is not what's happening. Okay, it's not where you should be putting your groups. But my job is to just whatever you looking for, that's what I'm going to find, right? So you give me the destination, I'm going to find you the hotel. But I'm just saying, if I'm the meeting planner, those are things I'm thinking of, right? But like I said, I get the attitude or the personality of my client. So whatever they're looking for, that's what I'm going to find. So a couple of my clients, they love kind of out of the way destinations and out of the way hotels. And sometimes they're not even into traditional hotels. They want me to kind of pull a rabbit out of my hat and find something that sometimes does not exist in certain destinations. But my job is to find it. No, I leave no stone unturned. That's for darn sure. So anyway, so yeah, so hopefully this format that I'm using, this restream, is working pretty well. I think it is. So I showed you the hotels, and once again, I said I will never do a show where I'm not showcasing a hotel, and I showcase the Marriott in let's see, where you go. Oh no, that's Tennessean Marriott Knoxville downtown. That was my room. So yeah, so those are things that I'm showcasing, showing off, and the amenities. Boom. So there you go. So there you go. Let's see. Is there something else I can show you? Is there something else I can show you? Oh, how do you get a hold of me? Okay, there's some information I got to give you, right? So while I'm getting used to this whole thing, you guys know about my blog. Okay, so most times I do a topic. I'm not doing a topic today. Well, you know what? I'm gonna touch on something today, and I think it's already on my blog. But most of the times I do a topic, or I have a topic, and instead of writing everything down, that a lot of people do, just go to my blog. Go to my blog. Where's the blog? It's at russellofhotels.com. Just go there. All the information will be there. Just hit the blog button, bing, and all this stuff that I talk about will be right there. So you don't have to commit it to memory and all that kind of stuff. You just go to the blog and it's there. Okay. And any questions anybody would have for me, feel free to reach out to me at Russell. This is my email, Russell at russellofhotels.com. Feel free to do that, because it's all about, like I said, it's all about um, engagement, right? And answering questions. And if you have questions about hotels or groups or whatever, anything, just reach out, or just you can reach out to me on email, or you can ask questions here. You can make your comments, go to the comment and just type it in there, and I'll see it, and then I'll address it right now. So not a problem. But if you don't want to do that, just feel free to email me. That's fine as well. I'm here for all of that. So let's see, what else did I want to show you? See, I'm getting used to this thing. So you guys are kind of like the guinea pigs. So I'm getting used to using this restream, so I can put that there on air with Russell of Hotels. That's my show that comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So feel free to check that out. It's live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube. So if you're looking for the replay, just go to LinkedIn, which you're on right now, and you can just scroll back and you'll see some of my past episodes of On Air with Russell of Hotels. Last show was 316, 315. No, 316 is coming up. So feel free to check that out coming Tuesday. And that's what it's all about, right? Just giving enough information for people to be dangerous, right? So yeah, just do that, right? Just do that. So once again, any questions, feel free to reach out to me. So one thing I wanted to talk about real quick is that I've been posting things, and I posted it yesterday. So if you look at my LinkedIn page or you follow me on IG, which in fact, where is that? Yeah, follow me. Boom. So you can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook as well, either at Russell of Hotels or my name, Russell L. Edmond. So if we're not connected on LinkedIn, go under Russell L. Edmond, and that's where you'll find me there, right? I do have a page, Russell of Hotels page on LinkedIn as well. That's more of the business page or the company page, but feel free to just go Russell L. Edmond and just connect with me there. I connect with everybody, okay, for the most part. Now, if you have the look of like you just want to sell me something, I'm not going to connect with you, okay? But maybe I connect with everybody, but then when I see what you're all about, then I unconnect. Does that make sense? Yeah, because there's some people that I connect with, and next thing you know, they're sending you something they're trying to sell. I'm not trying to buy anything. I mean, I'm not trying to downgrade your hustle game. I appreciate you getting your hustle on, but unless it's hotel related stuff, more than likely I'm not gonna be interested in it. Hospitality related stuff, I'm not gonna be interested in. So back to what I was saying, real quick. So I've been posting things. So if you check out my IG or LinkedIn page recently, just like last night, I think I posted late yesterday, I showed an interview. I call them conversations, but some people say, "Oh, you do interviews." Yeah, I do interviews. I do conversation, and the theme of it is about elevating your brand through conversation. Well, how do you do that? What do you mean elevating your brand through conversation? Well, the questions I'm asking are about them. Okay, so it's about whoever I'm speaking with, and just so happened it was a little snippet of a conversation I had with Mr. Aquan Robinson. Okay, he's with what is it? Experience. Montgomery, Alabama. I almost forgot, right? Experience Montgomery, Alabama, which is their DMO, Destination Marketing Organization. Okay. So it was an interview that I did maybe about now, it's been about 2 months ago. So, but what I did was instead of showing the whole entire 15 to 20-minute conversation, I had them broken down into little reels. And the reels they're all less than a minute, maybe there may be a couple, maybe a minute and 3 seconds or something like that. But I broke them down just like that, right? So I have many that I can show. So they're little snippets of the entire conversation. But getting back to the elevating of your brand, right? So people forget that they are the brand. They may work for someone like Aquan may work for Visit Montgomery or the Experience Montgomery, but the brand starts with him. People will buy him before they even know anything about the DMO or the CVB that he represents, right? So it's important that we as hospitality people understand that we are the brand. We're the people, we are the brand. They put us there for a reason, right? We're the person in front of that brand, right? They put us there for a reason, and we need to understand that we are the brand. So when I interview someone, it's elevating their brand as the person, their personal brand, but they just happen to represent a DMO, a CVB, or a hotel, right? So Aquan happens to represent, you know, Experience Montgomery, but you're not buying Discover Montgomery. You're buying him because he's the one that you're interested. He's the one that's talking it up. He's the one that you have the relationship with. You don't have a relationship with Montgomery. Okay, you have the relationship with the person, the salesperson, the director of sales, whatever, the executive director, whatever their position may be. So just keep that in mind. So when I ask people to do these conversations, know that it's elevating your brand, your personal brand, and the brand that you represent. Okay. So when people ask me all the time, oh, you're interviewing people. I say, well, no, it's more of a conversation because we're talking about how they got in the industry, talking about them as a person, talking about, how'd you get into the industry? And then they're telling a story. So it's all about the storytelling, right? And then we get into, for the most part, the destination they happen to represent or the hotel they represent and the special things that happen in that community or whatever, right? Or within that destination. So that's what it's all about. It's all about kind of discovering those things through a conversation. And it's only a 15 to 20-minute conversation, right? So you get a chance to kind of brag about yourself or your career and brag about your destination, because who wouldn't want to do that, right? So when you see those things, kind of pay attention to those and see exactly, what's going on and what they're talking about. It's not just, it's a little more in depth than just a conversation or an interview. Okay. Because some people, it's a scripted thing. No, it's not scripted because he doesn't know the questions I'm going to ask him. He knows the answers because it's all about him or it's all about his destination. So he should know how to answer the question, but I never discuss with anyone when I do one of these what the questions are going to be. But just know that you know the answers even way before I ask you the questions. So check those out. I did like 10 or 11 of those at the last North Star, which was North Star. It was Destination Southeast, which was in Palm Beach, Florida. So it was about a couple months ago. So look for more of those. I've been posting those, but I haven't posted. I haven't posted them. Like I don't double post anything, right? So if I post once, I'm gonna go on to the next one, right? So these are all brand new that I'm going to be posting. I'll post another one probably later today of someone else. But yeah, so I have like 11 of those to go through, and I have like 20 reels from each person. So that's huge, right? I can do that to the end of the year, right? But it's all about elevating one's brand. Okay. And these are things that we need. I don't think we know that we need this, but contrary to popular belief, everyone does not know that your brand exists. Okay. Everyone does not know your XYZ DMO exists. Okay. Or let's just say everyone does not know Experience Montgomery exists. Everyone does not know Visit Knoxville exists. Everyone doesn't know that. They don't know about the Tennessean hotel. They don't know about the Marriott in Knoxville because they don't even know anything about Knoxville. So you have to put things out there for people to see. Okay. It's not being a mystery to people. It's letting people know that, hey, I'm here. This is my DMO. This is what I represent. This is me. I'm Russell of Hotels, right? So the more you're out there, the more people are going to know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. Okay. You can't be hiding. Okay. You can't hide from what's going on. So when we're not doing these shows or these trade shows or conventions and conferences that we do one-on-one appointments or whatever, client events, when we're not doing those, what are we doing then? How are we letting people know that we still exist or our destination or our hotel exists? What are we doing? If we're not in front of people, what are we doing? How can you be in front of someone without being in front of them? Did that make sense? How can you be in front of them without being in front of them? That's a good one, Russell. I don't think I know what you're talking about. I think maybe you're saying it wrong. No, I'm not saying it wrong. You can still be in front of them without being in front of them. Meaning, okay, we go to these, conference. I was just at the North Star small and boutique meetings. I just said that, right? I was just there in Knoxville a couple of days ago. Okay, so I was there physically, right? I was there in front of people. We had one-on-one appointments. Okay, gotcha. Okay, now I know when I leave there, I'm going to still be visible to someone, okay? Because I'm posting things, because I'm doing these lives, okay? So I do this daily check-in Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I do on air with Russell of Hotels every Tuesday. So that's 5 days a week of people seeing me doing a live, right? So I'm not in front of them. I'm not, we're not breaking bread. We're not shaking hands and hugging and all that, but you still see me. So when I say how can you be there and not be there and still not be there, right? How can you see me and really not see me? You know, how can I be in your presence and not be in your presence? This is the way. It's all about social media, right? It's all about utilizing the tools that you have in front of you or that you have on your phone or on your laptop or whatever. Okay. So that's what it's all about. It's all about getting the message out. It's all about continuously getting the message out about who you are, what you do, and how you can help people. Okay. Within the hospitality space or the meeting space or whatever. Okay. So that's my job, to make sure I stay visible, because the more visible I am, the more people know who I am, and they know what I do, who I represent, or what I represent, and they know more about Russell of Hotels. Okay. Just the same if someone that worked for a hotel or whatever would do the same thing, or maybe even come on this show on air with Russell of Hotels or the daily check-in, and I could do the same thing, that as if I was right next to you, just like I did with Aquan Robinson, where we were in the same room, right? We were next to each other doing this conversation. Well, guess what? You can do the same conversation. It's called a podcast, okay? But now we have the capability of doing digital podcasts where people, or video podcasts where people can see you, right? So somebody can be right next to me, and we're just having a conversation about who you are, what you do, and how you can help, and what's your destination all about, and your brand, your personal brand, as well as the brand you represent. I mean, that's what it's all about. So when I said we're missing something, we're missing that piece. We're missing the piece where we think that we can only communicate with people when we're in front of them. There's other ways to do it, and I think that we're missing the boat when it comes to this social media thing. I think it's a good way to do things the right way, but I understand people are apprehensive of doing it. But hey, that's where I come in, right? That's where Russell of Hotels comes in, because I already have the setup, right? So all you have to do is just say, hey, I want to come on and have a conversation with you, and we'll make it happen. So there you go. I guess I said all that to say that, right? I said all that whole 20-minute talk just to say, if you need help with that, that's what I'm here to do, right? So I'm not only about hotel site selection, I'm about elevating brands, specifically people within the hospitality space, okay? I 100% are, dedicated to the hospitality industry. That's it. So if you ever looked at any of the shows that I do, it's all about hospitality. I don't have anybody on my show that's outside of the hospitality industry, because I think this our industry is more important to me than any other industry out there, because I spend the last 25, 30 years in this industry, and I ain't going nowhere now. Okay. I ain't going nowhere now. So yeah, so there you go. So any questions at all, just you can email me, Russell at russellofhotels.com. You can go IG, YouTube, LinkedIn, instant message me, however you want to do it. You can go check out my blog at russellofhotels.com. That is my email. I mean, that's my website. And keep in mind that my email is on that website as well as my phone number. Because some people choose to want to call somebody. Okay, well, go ahead and call me. That's fine. Pick up the phone and call. So, and just remember, anytime you have questions, you could do that in real time on the show. While I'm doing this live, you could do questions right now. Okay. So anyone that pops on, I see people that are there, right? I see there's people that are popping in and out, which is great, right? I love the live thing, right? But you can feel free to make comments. Just say, hey, what's going on? Hello, or you suck, or what the hell you doing? F off, whatever you want to do, that's fine. So anyway, that is it. I think that's it for now. Yeah, once again, I'm Russell L. Edmond, aka Russell of Hotels. And thank you for bearing with me on this whole restream thing. I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to get familiar with this new platform that I'm using. And only thing I haven't figured out is this backdrop. I don't like this backdrop. I'm trying to get that fixed. So hopefully I get this fixed over the weekend. I'll spend some time trying to do that because I cannot, for whatever reason, I don't even know where this photo came from. I don't even know what that design is. But obviously it's taking over and I can't change it. So anyway, that is it. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Watch some football, or if you're into baseball, I think the Dodgers are playing as well. But I'm more into football, so college football tomorrow. That's me. I'm going to the Charger game too. Going to the Charger game on Sunday. That should be a blast. So looking forward to that. So that's it. So you guys have a great day, great Friday, happy weekend. And as always,